Hi, I'm Jessica Lahr, and welcome to another edition of FLX Weekly here on Wednesday, July 12th, 2017. We are live inside the FingerLakes1.com studio on the top floor of the North Park building here in Seneca Falls. Joining me is Jim Sinacropi and Josh Durso.
Oof.
Man, that was rough.
It's the post-holiday, you don't want to do it. I get it. It's okay.
Just spitting it out. I'm anticipating this name I have to pronounce later.
Yes, it's going to be fun to see you try to pronounce that name.
Should be interesting. Well, it was your birthday. Did you have a nice birthday?
It was. Good weekend, long weekend, lots of golf, food, some relaxing. Good stuff all the way around.
Good.
Can't complain.
Some relaxing.
A little bit of relaxing.
What did you do on your birthday?
Actually, on my birthday was not very festive because my girlfriend got a new phone.
Oh.
And so that meant we spent 3.5 hours roughly in the Verizon store as they tried to sync up her 128 gig collection of assorted things. I don't know.
Why did she get something for her birthday?
I had already gotten a new phone, and she could not bear the fact that I had a better phone than she did.
Yes.
And I don't blame her because my phone was superior. It still is.
She says
you got the Google Pixel, right?
I got the Google Pixel XL. She just got a new iPhone, an iPhone 7 Plus.
Yes.
You know.
I saw her first picture on there.
Whatever to iPhone 7 Plus.
Agreed.
Android for life.
Yeah.
Forevermore.
Did you hit Canal Fest last weekend at all?
I didn't. By the time I got back into town, the festivities were winding down. And while I did want to make it to the fireworks, which I heard were spectacular.
They were really, really good, yeah. Maybe the best around.
I heard them, and it sounded like they were going on for, it seemed like a half hour.
Yeah, they're long.
They were
Really?
really long.
They're long. Spectacular.
You saw them up close.
Oh, yeah. We had my uncle owns a property it's overlooking Van Cleef Lake, like up on a cliff. So the barge that they launch them from is literally like right down in front of us. And the falling shrapnel from the sometimes gets a little scary, but it's crazy. It's crazy depending on which way the wind's blowing. So, yeah, that was fun. And you were out on the boat again on Seneca Lake, right?
I was, yes. It's been so beautiful out.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to soak up the sun and the nice weather while it's here. Yeah, the kids love it. We love it. Except it's making me lazy, and there's things that need to get done, and I need to start focusing on that. So.
Well, get on the boat while you can because...
I know, that's the thing.
Because back to school stuff is out in stores, and that means fall is coming.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Isn't that depressing?
No, I mean, I really do like fall, but yeah, summer doesn't even seem like it's really started yet. But we're at past the midway point now not of the season, because the season started on June 21st. But most people consider fall Memorial Day week, or summer Memorial Day, and we're halfway home there to Labor Day, which most people consider the end. So, but fall's great around here too, so I'm not gonna get too upset about it. Plenty
it's my
of summer
favorite
left.
Season.
Plenty of summer left.
I hope so. All right. Well, what do we have going on for weather this weekend?
Well, it's felt summery the past 2 days, and we just got a major little rainfall come through the Finger Lakes this afternoon. And been kind of hot and humid today. Not hot, but humid. And that'll kind of be the theme for the weekend. Friday, mostly cloudy with a high near 78, which is comfortable. 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Friday night, 60% chance of showers or thunderstorms, ending probably around 2 a.m. with a low down around 64. And then Saturday, you have a small chance of showers in the morning and into the early afternoon before turning partly sunny with a high near only 79. Saturday night, the low gets down to about 63, and then Sunday, partly sunny with a high near 82 and just a 40% chance of showers or thunderstorms. And that 40% chance of rain kind of continues into next week when temperatures get a little bit warmer for the start of next week. But certainly those are just around average temperatures, not hot.
Yeah.
We haven't really had a heat wave. We had 3-4 day stretch of hot weather back beginning in June, I think it was, and we haven't really. It's been pretty good. And again, it's not going to be a washout weekend, but if you have outdoor plans, you better watch the radar because some of these storms could just pop up and blow through. is usually the case this time of year. But it should be a good weekend and plenty to do this week. I mean, lots and lots of stuff going on to do.
Lots of stuff. So let's get right into weekend events. You filled in right here that we have the 178th Yates County Fair.
Yep, underway
through
awesome.
Saturday.
It's underway. Started on yesterday, and I think it's running right through the weekend. So
178th.
Yeah, these county fairs are long running.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome. Okay. Named the most family-friendly race by Triathlete magazine, the Musselman Triathlon returns to Geneva this weekend. The Musselman is a half-iron triathlon swim, bike, run that is ideal for beginners and experienced athletes alike. Geneva will be alive all weekend as participants and their families, as well as spectators, crowd the downtown restaurants and taverns. More info is online at musselmantry.com. It's a big event.
Oh, it's the best.
Triathlons are not for beginners. I don't care what anybody.
I
don't
know,
care what
that's what I was
anybody
thinking.
says about that.
There's
you
mini
don't
ones,
get involved.
There's minis.
They would have to be really
Yes.
many.
And juniors, but it's quite a spectacle. It's a nationally renowned event, and it's great for Geneva. You think that a lot of these guys like to party a little bit too, and so downtown Geneva all weekend long should just be rocking. All the hotels are filled, all the bars will be filled, and all the restaurants will be filled.
Yep.
So, and it's great a spectator event too if you want to get out to Geneva and watch. They jump in the lake real early in the morning to start the thing, and a lot of people like to hang out by the transition area from the boat to the bike and the bike to the foot, and it's a triathlon. So it's good stuff.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
I'd be scared to be amongst all those.
I've
people swimming
attended
in the water.
the Ironman in Lake Placid before. I didn't compete, but I went up there because a friend of mine was competing, and it's really amazing. And this is just a half try, the main Musselman, but the one in Lake Placid, they started at 6 a.m. and it was like 7, 8 o'clock at night. He comes across the finish line, and they're going the whole time.
Crazy.
So not for me, but fun to watch.
No, it's
wild.
I'll be a cheerleader.
Yeah.
All right, America's largest and most spectacular outdoor theatrical event, the 80th annual Hill Cumorah pageant, gets underway on Friday and Saturday in Palmyra this weekend. The performance focuses on the Book of Mormon and is quite the spectacle if you've ever been. More information at hillcumorah.org.
I've never been.
That is a summer staple, though. Around
Yeah,
here.
and it's another nationally renowned
Huge
event, and I've never gone. I've wanted to go. I know people who've gone just check it out, and they say it's crazy. It's huge. It's a huge production, and also if you do go up there, you're going to see some. It's the Mormon religion basically, and you're going to see a lot of protesters. Not a lot, but a vocal minority of protesters speaking out against the Mormons, more traditional Christians, I guess. So that's an interesting take too. It's nothing to be worried about. It's just kind of interesting. But if you want to take the drive to Palmyra, or if you're anywhere near Palmyra, it's worth checking it out. It is a spectacle.
Yes.
It is.
A lot of people come in from all over the place. Convention Days weekend runs Friday through Sunday in Seneca Falls and commemorates the first U.S. Women's Rights Convention held in 1848. The weekend will be filled with exciting speakers, workshops, historical actors Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Frederick Douglass, theater performances, music, film screenings, children's activities, art exhibits, and the world premiere of Lloyd J. Schwartz's play Independence. Get the full schedule and more info at conventiondays.com. I really want to make it to see one of those plays.
Yeah, Lloyd Schwartz is a famous television producer, son of Sherwood Schwartz. Worked with Sherwood Schwartz on the Brady Bunch and Happy Days and Alice and the A-Team and Gilligan's Island and a ton more. And so his play is debuting multiple times through the weekend. You can find out at conventiondays.com when. And I interviewed him. That's also up at Finger Lakes One and fingerlakes1.tv if you want to check that out.
It's worth checking out. It's really interesting.
It was interesting. It was fun to talk to a guy like that. He'll be in Seneca Falls obviously too, and so back-to-back big weekends in Seneca Falls, Canal Fest, Convention Days, and this one's the 100th anniversary of the New York State voting to allow women to vote in the 19th Amendment. So there'll be plenty. Just drive into Seneca Falls, park your car, and walk around.
Just like last weekend.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
This one was a little more historical flair to it than
Yeah.
last week was more about fun, and this one's more about the history. So
Yeah.
but there will be
Very
tons and
interesting.
tons. If you go to the site and look at the schedule, you'll see all the events. Like it won't be hard to find something to do. But that's not all that's going on this weekend around the Finger Lakes at all. There's so much more.
Oh, so much more. Adina Menzel will be at CMAC on Saturday night. She's known for her Frozen Let It Go.
Mm-hmm.
Canandaigua Lake Music Festival seasons begins Friday with world-acclaimed pianist Leva.
Yeah, Aiva. It's an I.
Oh, it looks like an L.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a
I'm really
capital I.
butchering it now.
It's a capital I.
Jokuba Vikute.
That sounds good. Nice with a little ethnic flair too.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Aiva, for butchering your name.
I'm sure it's not the first time. But another internationally known pianist here locally, so it'd be worth checking that out too.
Yes.
That would be Friday, right? Yeah.
Yes. The Temptations will perform at the Vine inside Del Lago Resort and Casino on Saturday night at 8 o'clock.
That's awesome.
Yes, that is awesome. There will be music in the park at the Village Square in Hammondsport on Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
You can pick cherries at Varick Winery.
Why not?
I love cherries.
Yeah.
So that'd be a fun thing to do with the kids. There's a stand-up comedy showcase at Longacre Farms in Macedon on Friday night. It's Princess Day on Saturday from 10 till noon at Waterloo Premium Outlets.
Apparently there's a couple princesses going to be walking around, and if you bring your child as a princess, they can get pictures taken and stuff like that. But they have a website and a Facebook page, too. You might want to check it out if you're interested.
Yes, very cute. On Sunday afternoon, jazz great Gerald Albright will perform at Glenora Wine Cellars in Dundee.
Another chance to see a national name perform locally.
Yep.
Yes. And then the Scottish Festival is on Saturday in Dundee.
Yeah, that's a long-running event as well, celebrating the Scottish heritage in Dundee. Now, it's just too much. There's so much going on. You know,
I
that's
know.
a frustrating thing. Is I would like to do pretty much all these things.
Everything.
But
Little
you
bit of
just
this.
can't. You got to pick and choose, and
Yeah.
it's
You
tough.
especially feel for the people in Yates County. You have to choose between the Scottish Festival
I
and
know.
the county fair.
Yeah, well, they can
I
go to the
mean-
county fair Friday, Saturday, Thursday night, tonight,
And
Thursday,
music.
Friday, and then go to the Scottish Fest on Saturday, I think that is.
Yes.
You know, and then they could go over to Glenora and check out Gerald Albright, or take the ride to Seneca Falls and check out the Temptations after some of the convention days. So you can make a whole weekend
You
out
can.
of multiple events here.
Bouncing from
You
event
can
to
just
event.
string them all together.
Yeah. Lots to do. So enjoy.
Yes.
What do we have going on in the news, Josh?
So we've got a few big stories that have been popping up over the last few days. The Cuyahoga County Office for Emergency Services is asking for the public's help to send photos, video, and any other documentation that connects to or shows the flooding that happened a couple weeks ago, the July 1st
yes.
flooding. Obviously, mudslides and all sorts of terrible things were happening. Moravia was one of the hardest hit communities. But it kind of sounds like from the reporting I've seen thus far that they weren't really prepared for it, so they weren't really prepared to assess the flooding that happened. So now they're kind of, trying to catch up, and they're
Yes.
asking for anyone. And it was amazing because whenever something like that happens, we see a ton of stuff on social media.
Right.
Pictures, video, you name it. And so a lot of that is going to be getting sent back into the Office for Emergency Services so they can
Good.
hopefully prepare better next time.
Yes.
We have a story about a Wayne County deputy who was involved in an accident in Williamson. The deputy and 3 others were transported to Rochester area hospitals with just minor injuries. The accident did total the cruiser. The cruiser had its lights on, was attempting to get by a car. The car turned left into the cruiser. Both vehicles were totaled. But
boy.
no official cause of the accident yet, no blame, no tickets, no even identities yet. So we'll continue to update that one over the whole weekend.
Okay.
Other law enforcement related news, a Tompkins County deputy is accused of falsifying a report from a drunk driving accident that happened last year.
Oh, boy.
They are civil accusations, And it's a really, really fascinating story that I would say is probably one of the must-reads on fingerlakes1.com
It's the
right
top
now.
story right now, I think, right?
It's up there. Yeah, I think it might be the top story still right now.
Now, why would he falsify it? Because it's someone he knew, maybe? Is that it?
Well, it just sounds like he took the word. It sounds like what happened was the deputy took the word of the EMS personnel that were there, and as the EMT, and as they were transported, they just assumed that a breathalyzer had been administered.
So the EMT might have known the DWIs?
It's really difficult to say. All the EMT, according to the reporting, is all the EMT said was they could smell alcohol. But the deputy then assumed that a breathalyzer was administered. Never happened throughout the whole course. There were witnesses who offered conflicting reports about if the driver was or was not under the influence of drugs or alcohol. It was just a really complicated thing, and now it just sounds like the charges are going to have a very difficult time sticking, and now that deputy is in a little bit of hot water because...
Sure, and the victim in the accident or the other person... Because if one person is drunk, even if the other person was at fault in the accident, the person that was drunk is at fault, right? Pretty much. So, yeah, well, we'll keep on following that story too.
And the latest in the stalled project along Canandaigua Lake, the resort,
done, right? Done.
Well, they had a plan for a dock that was going to sort of revitalize the whole thing, and that got killed this week.
Yep.
So
killed.
Oh, boy.
Now it's back to just being a vacant structure on Canandaigua Lake, and that's that. And how about some good news? The Waterloo Village Board named Jason Godley as the police chief. So no more interim.
Chief Marquardt, yeah.
So he and another Marquardt were alternating months leading the force, and now he is officially the police chief, and that's good news.
Okay, that is
Great.
good news. We better jump to photos quick because we're running short on time. We got a lot of photos.
Oh, we do this week after a light week of photos last week. So we kick it off with a great shot from Shelley Lannon as this trio of birds watch a hot air balloon travel over Shortsville on 4th of July evening last Tuesday.
Yeah,
That's cute.
It's awesome.
I love that. This streak of fire was captured by M. Sean Hamilton over the Finger Lakes on July 4th. Whether a stray firework or something else, it made for a great image to capture.
It's a little high up to be a stray firework.
That's
Debunked.
cool.
It was a drone.
Oh,
you're
really? Like a
kidding.
time?
It was a flying drone, and it sounds like he was taking a little bit of a longer exposure, and it just happened to catch and streak and bang.
Either way, it makes for a nice photo.
It does.
Yeah,
That's neat.
it's awesome.
M. Sean Shyamalan.
Yes.
From Karen Bartow, this mother gave birth to a colt on Leader Road in Fayette on Thursday
Now,
afternoon.
what day was that picture taken?
So cute.
Was
Oh
it
my
July
gosh.
6th?
Thursday afternoon, it
Yeah.
says.
In the
yeah.
screen, we got the date. But
Oh.
yeah, that's cool. Get that young colt some food.
Really, though.
You don't like that they have
looks
that
quite hungry.
date
Well, I
on
would
there.
just take that off the camera.
The
Settings.
I
settings.
couldn't see it on the other side of the air conditioner.
But that's pretty cool, man. brand new life.
Oh, sweet. Very sweet. Something different from Deborah Tezier with this photo of an eastern black swallowtail butterfly caterpillar eating the leaves of a Queen Anne's lace on July 4th in Bristol.
That is some detail.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Nice photo, even though it's kind of gross. I don't like those things. They're like too turned into butterflies, though.
That's good. And just one of the many fireworks displays over the past couple of weeks, as Patrick Costello reports that the American Legion in Geneva put on a nice fireworks display Monday. That's a beautiful shot.
It is. And speaking of, the next couple aren't in your script to read, but there are a couple pictures I took over the weekend.
Oh.
Those are the Legion fireworks.
Uh-huh.
We mentioned earlier I watched the fireworks over Van Cleef Lake from Great, and this is one of them that, where
That's so cool.
it wasn't great quality because it was so dark, but you can see we all line up with lawn chairs. They're right on the cliff edge of Van Cleef Lake, and all the fireworks are just falling down on us.
Yeah, no, that's really...
It's not as bad as it looks. They're kind of in front of us, but nobody got burned.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, but pretty cool, pretty crazy.
It is.
And then I think I have another one. Oh, yeah, this was Canal Fest weekend. I actually, I played in a golf tournament on Saturday, and when I got home, I walked downtown from my house, which I hardly ever do. It's not that long a walk, but I did, and I snapped this picture on the way right after we got a big rainstorm that kind of washed things out on Friday night at Canal Fest.
That's a great shot.
And I mentioned the golf tournament I was at. It was Dutch Hollow Country Club in Owasco, and this is a kind of a view of the landscape. That's the 8th hole beyond that high grass. You can barely see where the flag is, but good country up there in Dutch Hollow. Yeah. It's down in the hollow.
It is.
It's beautiful.
Dutch Hollow. So, yes. Okay, now you can resume.
Thanks for sharing, Jim. Alrighty, Chris Trine happened to come upon this American bittern at Sodas Bay during the holiday weekend. It's a solitary bird who usually keeps itself well hidden and is difficult to observe. It typically hunts by walking stealthily in shallow water and among the vegetation, as seen here in this image, stalking its prey.
It's pretty cool.
That's a pretty cool picture.
I feel like photographers are like hunters, except they don't kill.
Right.
They're
totally
what they're hunting. They just capture it and then we show it on our show.
Yeah. Ann Kaminsky sent us this photo from Samson Veterans Cemetery as the sunset lights up America's national bird on Thursday night.
Good to get one from good old Ann Kaminsky. She contributes regularly over the years. I don't think we've got one in a few weeks though. So
no, it's been a few weeks.
That's
I was thinking
nice
that. Mm-hmm. Here's a fantastic shot from Nancy L. Wright as this old white barn catches the last rays of a summer sunset in the town of Benton late last week.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
Really nice.
And from Jack Wagner, who was at Canal Fest in Seneca Falls last weekend, the Waterfalls Yayas repeated on Saturday afternoon as grand champions of the 2017 Canal Fest Aquacade.
Those are winners right there.
Yeah, the Aquacade's pretty cool. It's a throwback to the Aquacade they used to have during the old Aquafest during the 1970s and maybe early 80s, but mostly 1960s and 70s in Seneca Falls. They had a Aquafest, which is what Canal Fest is kind of
themed after.
Been brought back as. So good job, ladies.
That's it's a great picture. From Jim Porowski, the falls at Havana Glen Park were flowing pretty good on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's pretty. Mm-hmm. Another great shot from Nancy L. Wright as this white barn makes for quite the subject in Yates County as the sun was setting behind it.
That's going to be my vote for photo of the week, I think.
Beautiful.
So just keep that in mind. It's a really
great
nice
photo.
Yeah, it is. Rachel Burkholder was out on Seneca Lake on Sunday evening and shared this shot looking back at Lodi Point. Oh, wow. That's great.
Rachel's been hard at work since she came back
from
her little mini vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, we only have 2 this week, but next week we got a few just now that are really good. But one more from Rachel, I think, right, to round us up?
Yep, to round it up. This is the sunset over Seneca Lake, which was made possible by the addition of a few clouds in the evening sky. Another from Rachel Burkholder.
Also a photo of the weekend, and along with that Havana Glen photo and the bird photo and
gorgeous.
My 3 photos.
I know.
None of them can compare to something like this. This one's great. But it's time to pick our photo of the week. What do you guys think? And we got some construction going on here in our office. It's going to be good. We're really making some major renovations around here. You wait till we're going to do an office tour when we get almost complete with all these, and we'll show you how sweet this space is here in the North Park building on the 3rd floor.
That's right.
Yes. Well, I think I'm going to have to vote the very first one, I think. Yeah, Shelley Lannon's Trio of Birds with a Hot Air Balloon. I just thought that was super different, cute.
Oh, wow. I'm going with the white barn. The second picture of the white barn, the contrast, the sun, the white barn.
Yeah, I'm going with that one too. So that's the deal.
Dun, dun, dun.
And the person who used to live there contacted us and wanted a picture. They formerly lived on that property.
Yep,
that's neat.
That was their childhood home.
Oh,
and the gentleman
that.
contacted us and asked if we could possibly get him in touch with Nancy.
That's amazing.
And
we did.
We hope.
And now they're getting married.
Well, I don't know about any of that.
No, they're not.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for sending those in. If you'd like to share your local photos from across the region, click the link in the Submit Content section at the bottom right-hand side of our homepage here at FingerLakes1.com. Jim, sports, what's going on?
Okay, sports. All-Star break this week, and then we get back into action with the Yankees just 4 games over 500 and in second place after they really slid into the All-Star break but they'll be at Fenway for 4 games Friday, 7:10, Saturday at 4:05, and then a doubleheader on Sunday, 1:05 and 8:08. The Mets host the Rockies when they return to action on Friday at 7:10, Saturday at 7:10, and Sunday at 1:10 in the afternoon. The Pilots are, for the first time this year, on the road all weekend long. They're at Palmyra Friday, at Oneonta Saturday, and Jamestown Sunday. But Geneva is off Friday, and then they'll be hosting Jamestown on Saturday and Syracuse on Sunday. So any of you guys in town for the Musselman that are looking for something different to do, head out to McDonough Park on Saturday or Sunday. Check out the Geneva, the red hot Geneva Red Wings.
Yeah.
The PGA Tour is at the John Deere Classic in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. It's U.S. Women's Open week. That begins Thursday. And, of course, the Musselman Triathlon in Geneva is probably the premier local sporting event this week. So yeah, it's summer in the Finger Lakes, and we were jam-packed with this show with events. And
I know.
Yeah.
All those photos, all those events.
We're already off to a good start for photos for next week, too.
Could be the busiest week of the whole year right now for events.
Yeah, I agree, especially considering, July 4th is kind of an extended, and a lot of people don't plan events, but now this is like the first standard weekend of July, and it's packed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's more events we didn't even mention.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we did mention quite a lot.
I know. Are you going to any of them that you know of?
Oh, boy, I have a birthday party for a cousin, a first birthday party for a cousin on Saturday, I believe. Golf Sunday morning. I got some yard work to do.
I know.
So I don't know. It is tough. We will probably have someone at the triathlon this weekend for Finger Lakes 1. And definitely we'll spend some time at convention days because it's right here in town. And we're going to have video from the whole weekend of convention days that we'll probably be able to produce something by Tuesday or Wednesday next week.
Nice. Nice.
Yep.
Are you going to be around? Are you doing anything? Any events?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this weekend's going to entail. We're gonna play it by ear, and we'll see where we wind up. Maybe we'll wind up at convention days.
I know. I want to go.
It's hard to say.
How about you? Boating again?
I don't think so. I have so much to get done, but I do want to try to make that play if I can. So I've got to figure out when they are and see if I can make one. And I have a makeup client as well this weekend, so we'll be busy. Always a lot to juggle.
Just another weekend for Jessica Lahr.
Yeah.
But
a lot to juggle.
But yeah, like you said, the weather forecast looks pretty good. There would be you're going to get a little rain here or there, or maybe you're going to miss it, but overall it should be fine for anything you have planned. It's not going to be a washout, although as we found out last weekend, or was it when was it when Keuka County got hit? Was that a Wednesday, Tuesday?
That was a Saturday. It was a week ago Saturday.
Oh, yeah. It was that was the same type of thing. It was just a chance of some passing thunder showers, and
boom.
That didn't do much anywhere else. But in Keuka County, that was like 4 inches of rain in 2 hours.
That's crazy.
So you never know. So keep an eye on the radar at the Weather Center at fingerlakes1.com.
Yes.
And that about wraps it up for us this week.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week. If you'd like to drop us a line, send an email to contact@fingerlakes1.com. If you enjoy the show, click like, share, subscribe. We'll be back next Wednesday afternoon for another episode of FLX Weekly. So whatever your plans, enjoy this summer weekend here in the Finger Lakes. Bye-bye.